put the ads on the bottom of the door. So when you're walking in, adults are walking into the store, they're looking like what they're going to go and get, but you're holding your kid's hand walking in, and that kid is looking directly at Marlboro, Newport, all the cigarette ads. They're all on the bottom of the door. Nobody ever looks at it, but they're there. And that's what's directly on the kid's level. And they're just grooming you to be the next generation of customers. But that's it. I mean, and remember, we're talking about vices that have been around for a while, gambling, all that. But this is the thing that's never been around before. These phones, that is what allows kids to, it exacerbates the whole thing. It takes it to a whole nother level because now you can't walk away from it. You used to be able to go to school, come home, and you can separate yourself from the peer pressure. It never ends now. Now you're on your phone 24/7. People are able to find you, reach out. You're online. It never ends. So, and that's also with the gambling.
Absolutely, Andrew. But what also it does is husbands have their own cell phones now. Wives have their own cell phones right now. Kids, look, I live off the grid. I have a landline. My wife and I, we share a landline. Everybody that calls that number, I see who called it. You understand? Same as my wife. It has nothing to do with trust. I love my wife. We've been married for 41 years. And I just got a quick shoulders to get this off my lap. That is the 10 Commandments that we got when we got married 41 years ago. One of my wife's family members bought this for us. And the first commandment, thou shalt have no other gods before me. The second, thou shalt not worship any graven image. Hello. What are these professional franchises? What have they become? They own so many of our citizens, right? So
they own
so
Sunday.
Now
they own Sunday.
Oh my God! And Sunday on top of that, like you're saying. So what happens is on Sundays, rather than guys going to church and going and read, and by the way, everybody should have the 10 Commandments in their house. If everybody had the 10 Commandments posted in their house, it would be a great America. We don't need no presidents. We don't need no congressmen. We don't need no senators. We need him. So get those 10 Commandments out, pull them out, or go buy one and put it on your wall. You understand? And we need to follow the 10 Commandments because right now what's happening on Sundays is we're worshiping the almighty football team. We're worshiping the almighty hockey team. We're worshiping the almighty NBA team. We're worshiping the almighty baseball team, right? So, and people are going out and gambling and becoming addicted to it, getting back to being addicted. I was proud of the University of Pittsburgh's football coach. He made a comment let's go to the NCAA and what they just done. So he made a comment. I'm not a big fan of this guy at the University of Pittsburgh, but he made a comment that he's totally against the NCAA authorizing gambling, right? Totally against it. So what he said was it's addictive. Gambling is addictive, no different than smoking, drinking, and drugs. Ooh, man, I tell you, he's on to something. So he's a pretty bad coach, but he seems to maybe be a pretty good guy.
So let's talk about what actually came down here. So with the NCAA, they just released this last week. So they, as of today, we're recording this on the 28th of October. So as of today, student athletes cannot gamble on professional sports. You cannot have a DraftKings account. You cannot go to the casino. You cannot go to Vegas and bet on, the NFL games this weekend. But that changes on Saturday, November 1st. November 1st, they illegally will be able to do all of that. And you ask the question, why? Why are they doing this? Why? Who said this was a good idea? Why? What makes this a good idea? Exactly.
Look,
so this reeks of lobbying. This reeks of millions and billions of dollars getting thrown around in all the right hands. And basically what it comes down to is the fact that they realize that they have a subsect of student athletes now that are getting paid millions of dollars, and they don't have access to those millions of dollars. And that's basically what it comes down to.
Indirectly. Trust me, my friends. their
Exactly.
friends on campus. Their friends on campus are betting for them. I mean, don't let
Right.
anybody fool you. Just look at the
But why
NBA.
do that?
They're
But why
runners.
even bother? If you can throw a couple million in somebody's pocket and say, well, let's get this rule changed so I can have access directly to that money, why not? So now the whole purpose of this, right, is to say, okay, these kids, coaches, and staff can all gamble on professional sports. Great. Okay. So now what you're telling me is you got an 18-year-old kid who's now making millions of dollars, a couple $100,000 straight out of high school, never had that much money in his life before. Sure, I'll bet a few bucks on Monday Night Football. Awesome. I can bake this. That becomes a habit. Habits become part of your personality. And the next thing you know is you have a gambling addiction. Now, that's great because it's legal and there's nothing wrong with that. But what happens when that kid who's making a couple $100,000, couple $1,000,000 has a gambling habit, a gambling addiction, and then is, well, I want to play professional sports. I want to go to the league. I want to play in the NFL, MLB, NBA. So I have to stop. So you're telling me that we're going to groom these kids with millions of dollars and say, yeah, it's fine. It's totally legal. Go gamble, do whatever. That's great. Completely legal. It's fine. But the second you get drafted into the league, you got to stop. In what world is that going to happen? In what world are we just going to like, oh, you're right. You know what? Gambling isn't that big of an addiction.